The birth of cybernetic art. Frieder Nacke, don't know how to say that. Mathematician, computer scientist, actually a bunch of interesting stuff in math and computer science, so we will do a deep dive there as well. Boom, let's get that Wikipedia open, then we'll look at the database of digital art. Look at a little bit of line cubes. Hans. We got to, ooh, Wolfgang. We got to work on collecting some knowledge about spatial art, and then this article by Sergeant Slaughtermelon. There's lots of stuff to do. Let's maybe make sure that we are properly streaming somewhere. So if I actually go to my profile, I should see myself right there. Lovely. Copy link. Take that. Take it to here. We're going to start on appropriation. We're starting on Wikipedia, and we will spiral. Also, I need some peaceful music because it's late at night, so we're going to do the Haruami Hosono. God, I just cannot pronounce a single thing. But damn, this is good, isn't this? Oh, man, I'm ready to learn when I'm listening to this here. Let's see. Hit him with an @everyone. Late night art research. And let's get down to goddamn business. Whoops. Boom. Send. That works. Go there. Lovely. I'll go to my regular chat as well. I'm on the Twitter. It's a Saturday night. It was a nice long day. Here's all my DMs. Post it there. Post it there. We're done. Let's pop this to the top. And truthfully, what I like to do, just in case, I'm going to pull all my links up to the top here. Okay, so this is the first topic. These are going to be the subjects. And we're going to figure out actually what's going on here. Well, okay, I didn't copy it. Whoops. Let's grab out a little doc. Whoa, look at that's old. Haha. I can tell that's old. Line cubes, gotta learn more about Hans. And we'll do the Kate. That's good enough to remind me, just in case I lose this other stuff. I don't know if we'll get to cybernetic art, but you know those are my interest. And then finally, we're gonna start with here. Okay, great. So, appropriation. In art, appropriation is the use of pre-existing objects or images with little or no transformation applied to them. The use of appropriation has played a significant role in the history of arts, literary, visual, musical, and performing arts. In the visual arts, to appropriate means to properly adopt, borrow, recycle, or sample aspects or the entire form of human-made visual culture. Notable in respects are the ready-mades of Marcel Duchamp. Right? So he takes something that's already existing, let's say a urinal, and then he says, guess what? It's a fountain. It's my art. Boom. He just appropriated it, right? So what is appropriation? Now, well, they said we're saying in art. We are saying in art, right? If we look at this definition from Wikipedia, which we'll keep trying to do our own, little or no transformation. Theirs is very simple. So important is the little or no transformation, which leads to a question. Thank you, Tom. How are you? Ooh, let's see if I can make that smaller. Restream's not going to just let me click a link. Come on, guys. Oh, God. There we go. There we go. What are we looking at right here? Theo Wolfkamp? A watercolorist, spelled with the U. Droughtsman. Now, when did you become a... My favorite appropriation is that of surrealism. Ooh, interesting. Love that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add this to our, because we're gonna dive a little deep. We're trying to uncover what are the interesting topics around this. We don't have the answers here, but we will learn. We will ponder. But first, I'm gonna try and start with the broad Wikipedia overview, and then we will dive down many rabbit holes. So kind of the idea here is, so I'm gonna put. This is Tom, so I know you said this. These are not opinions. Yeah, opinions. Right? Question. What is the maximum amount of transformation that can be applied until it no longer, is appropriation? Right? So I'm gonna keep. Well, first of all, I got this link correct. Good. So I'm gonna re-exit. Let's see. Obviously, the ready-mades of Marcel Duchamp. Right? Why are these so important here? Remember, I always love this too. Right? An antidote to what he called retinal art. Oh my God, art that's just supposed to look good. It's just for your eyes. Disgusting. Okay, if your brain's not being tickled. But then, retinal art is my favorite term. Love retinal art. By simply choosing the object or objects and repositioning or joining, tilting or signing, the found object becomes art, right? He's not interested in what he called retinal art that is only visual and sought other methods of expression, right? We know this here. So this concept of, well, I'm just going to put retinal art here, but it's, if you are engaging in appropriation, are you always, moving beyond's kind of condescending, retinal art. So, if we start with like Marcel Duchamp, right? He is like pushing concepts. He's pushing concepts, right? It's not pure visual. However, once someone has established those concepts, if you repeat them, you know what I mean? If you are re-referencing, so if you're, I'll write this down in a second, okay? Let me finish the thought, okay? If you repeat them, is it still, conceptual? And then, further, is it still appropriation? I don't know. So an example of this would be, it's Marcel's fountain. The fountain. So this is not retinal art. It's meant to, challenge us mentally. If someone appropriates the fountain, appropriates the fountain. It's a funny thing in quotes. Like, is there a way it could not be? It could be pure retinal. No, it can't be. It can't be. If it can't be pure retinal, then it has to be okay, right? Tom, remember, this is like logic. It's this is and ors here, okay, right? So no matter what, if you take something and then you reappropriate it again, right? It's going to make someone say, why did you do that? It's never going to be the image in itself. It's impossible to do that. I'm trying to think, how can I take the fountain? If I took the fountain and then I printed it like Andy Warhol, could that be pure retinal? Pure retinal art. I think it might be able to be, which, all right, but if I took the fountain and made Andy Warhol-esque, version, could that be pure retinal art? And there's how do you guarantee people aren't perceiving your art in a non-retinal way? This is oh my God. What's up, Mac? Right? Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like, okay, that's what we're starting from, right? The idea, no matter what, the first appropriation that was really important. Obviously, we talk about the fountain all the time. You could talk about these other ready-mades. So the first definition of a ready-made, which we'll do ready-made since it is so fundamental to the start of appropriation right here. It changed into a retinal when you take the picture for the depiction. What I'm thinking though is like, the fountain is now so iconic, right? If I put an Andy Warhol style, I'm appropriating another style, right? But even if I'm appropriating that other style, I'm not actually trying to put this large intellectual spin on it because I'm just referencing two things. It's like almost like it's like anti-intellectual. Maybe I'm wrong. So ready-made, DG. So what we're talking about here is, so ready-mades is this simple idea which is, remember, this is like early conceptual art, okay, 1914. So this is the fun part about art. Everything's bullshit and insane and goofy. And so when we keep asking ourselves, what is art? Finally, Marcel was like, wait a minute, I've got an idea. This vape right here, that's art. He goes, well, how is it art? And he goes, check it out. Instead of it being a vape, I'm going to call it sword. And then everyone's like, wait a minute. Damn it. It's making me think. And then some people are like, that's bullshit. Oh, Two Rips, what's up? What's up, Two Rips? That's not, but it's bullshit, right? That's not art, right? You're like, that's not, I want to look at pretty things. And he goes, pretty things? You like retinal art? You like art that just pleases the eyes? No. I like art that pleases the brain. You know what I mean? So, but the idea of these early ready-mades was he would take something, if he tilted it, if he, like it says right here, right? Tilt it, reposition it, join it, sign it, do anything, put a different tag under it, and all of a sudden, boom, it's now art. Great, right? So this is part of appropriation, right? It's a knife. It's a part of appropriation, no matter what, right? This appropriating of taking something and doing minimal modifications to it, right? And how does that impact the art? And so Duchamp really started this. He said he selected the pieces on the basis of visual indifference, and the selections reflect a sense of irony, humor, and ambiguity. It was always the idea that came first, not the visual example, for denying the possibility of defining art. The idea comes first, not the image. The first definition of ready-made appeared in André Breton and Paul Hillard's Dictionnaire abrégé du surréalisme, an ordinary object elevated to the dignity of a work of art by the mere choice of an artist. Oh my God. See, I said it in a very dumb way. That's really, when you want to know what a ready-made is, it's like, oh, what is a ready-made? Well, think of it this way. It's an ordinary object elevated to the dignity of a work of art by the mere choice of an artist. We understand this concept intuitively, right? This is what, well, first of all, we're talking about 1914 right now. So it's like, these concepts in 1914 are wilder than today, where you're like, yeah, if an artist chooses this is art, it is the art, right? We're kind of all in agreement, but at one point, this is a revolution, right? So, which it is. It's still, this is like real counterculture, right? Surrealism is the core of appropriation. Ooh, I love that. I'm putting it in hot takes, even though I don't know if it's quite a hot take yet. You might be right. I love that. And I love yelling it. You know what I mean? Like being like, okay, so while published under the name of Marcel Duchamp, or MD, Andre nevertheless asserts that Breton wrote this particular dictionary entry. Okay, Duchamp only made 13 ready-mades over 30 years. He felt that he could only avoid the trap of his own taste by limiting output. Though he was aware of the contradiction of avoiding taste, he had also selected an object. Taste, he felt, whether good or bad, was the enemy of art. Dude, I gotta say, I'm reading too much, but, oh, whoops, I lost it. But, God, Duchamp, he's just got quote after quote after quote. He's always saying these just hot takes. He's always like, oh, you like retinal art? And it's like, taste is the opposite, is the enemy of art. Taste, whether good or bad, is the enemy of art. Yeah, it's good shit. You bust that out on a Twitter space when you're arguing someone, you sound so smart. You know what I mean? Surrealism completed to conception all within the mind. Yes, we have to look at maybe yeah, totally. We got to look at the history, right? Because art at one point was, the goal was to become literal, like to recreate what we see. And then we started expressing ourselves, and the styles grew and changed. And then a lot of the early styles that were still recreating what we already had seen before, slowly that drifted into, Impressionism and surrealism, and then later abstract expressionism and all these things. And so maybe it is that linking thing in the history, but I got to back up, Oh, man, Marcel on Twitter, Marcel Duchamp on Twitter, that's my dream. His conception of the ready-made changed and developed over time. My intention was to get away from myself, he said. Though I perfectly well that I was using myself. Call a little game between I and me. God, he's so good. Okay, cool. We got it. Good shit off. That's not what we're really trying to get here. Robert Fullard described his ready-mades as expressing an angry nihilism. And see, National Post, May 2015. Let me see if you can actually take... Nope, can't do it. Link don't work. Always happens. I'm always following the links. Guess what? They don't work. Well, I can just search Robert Fullard. I already forgot to spell his name. Whoops, who cares? Marcel Duchamp. And angry nihilism. Wikipedia, obviously. National Post. Found it. If anything odd, nothing is odd. First of all, who are you, Robert Fuller? I'm not going to take your opinions unless I know who you are. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep listening to fun music. Oh my God, it's Saturday night. It's like time to actually, like, it's time to get a little buck wild. We're reading about art late. That's fun. Love that. So I want to listen to like really good music. That was really good. I kind of want to keep listening to them. Maybe we do hits. And remember, my idea of hits is very insane because I'm trying to learn right now. Ooh, let's try this Aaron Resort. Hiroshi Yashimura. I can't say anything, pronounce anything right, but this might be it. I think this might be the move. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes. Starts with foresight. Okay, cool. So here is our friend. Ooh, he's childhood friend of Glenn Gould. Very cool, very cool. If you guys don't know Glenn Gould, the hottest piano player ever. Oh, boy. Fuller's media career began at 16. Still in high school. Worked at a radio station in the summer. He's working at some other places. He's the editor for this magazine. He's critical of David Cronenberg's films. This guy sucks. You don't like David Cronenberg? He sucks. You don't like Duchamp or Cronenberg? Those are the coolest dudes. Come on, man. Videodrome, classic. I haven't seen a movie in 5 years, and I would kill to watch that right now. I could watch A Little Fly right now. He was on some other shows. He delivered some stuff, but he's a critic of art and films. He wrote about the abstract art group Painters 11. So he's like the Canadian Jerry Saltz. He's got his little crew. He's writing about the Canadian 11. That's cool. Okay, I got to learn about the Painters 11. But okay. Dude, this is exactly what we should be listening to right now. Okay, cool. Lovely. Here's his article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Also, this is too contemporary. Why am I reading something from 2015 about something from 2014, from 1914, right? All right, it's going to piss me off. So I'm gonna add this for later. It's always good. Save all your rabbit holes. 2 good rabbit holes there, actually. Boom, 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 boom. Great. Back to here. So, Ready Mates is kind of the start, it seems right now. The origination of appropriation within art is Ready Mates because it was a deeply conceptual thing that he started the most raw version of appropriation first. Appropriation is the most simplest form he did, and he actually didn't do that many. Can you refresh the room for me? So, DG, we're trying to do a couple different things. I'm just going to keep saying DG, too. It's just easier to read whatever his name says. So, I'm trying to learn about a bunch of different stuff here. Got a couple different news here. Really, what I want to do is go through the history of appropriation in art and see what the different debates come out of it. Then I've got a bunch of other articles to read, but I'm just starting on the concept of appropriation and trying to be like, okay, let's really wrap our head around this, right? Because we see it all the time. There's a Wikipedia article. We'll click on all this other stuff and go from there, right? The Ready-Mates are actually so based, though. They are the most based. In my opinion, if you look at it this way, Duchamp, he's like inventing appropriation, and he's inventing it in its purest conceptual form, and then he doesn't run it into the ground because he could have run it into the ground and make a fortune from it. I want a ready-made, right? But like he did 13 in 30 years, right? Which just shows you that he is caring about the concept more than like he's not so proud of his concept he's going to just milk it. It is about the art in its most pure artistic essence, pushing the medium forward. So love that. And that's how appropriation starts. Boom. I'm writing this narrative for myself right now. I'm trying to like learn these things and talk them through and put the history in my own words. So I'm talking through it too. So boom, we got the start. Appropriation, Marcel Duchamp, Ready-Mates. Love it. Inherent in understanding of appropriation is the concept that new work recontextualizes whatever it borrows to create the new work. In most cases, the original thing remains accessible as the original without change, right? And I mean, we don't really need to read recontextualization. However, this says Bauman Briggs, and every time I see 2 old white guys' names next to each other like that, I'm like, I gotta read that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna add this to our other stuff. We have concepts in here, I believe. No, we don't. I have a couple things that are like more titles that are more generic, but whatever. Got it. Also, I gotta say, this is hidden right now. A song right here. Dang, you hear that light? So, let's see. Recontextualization is the process that extracts text, signs, or meaning from its original context and reuses it in another context. We know that. Since the meaning of text, signs, and content is dependent on the context, recontextualization implies a change of meaning or redefinition. Now, this is what I do like, okay? Because remember, we are dumb. We can study art all day, we can study music all day, but there is always a nerd where we say, oh, I know what the word recontextualization means, and there's a linguist out there who is saying, no, 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 you're using it incorrectly. Recontextualization is really the dynamic transfer and transformation of something from one discourse text in context to another. Actually, it's pretty much what we were saying. He just said it nicer, fancier. Scholars have theorized a number of theoretical conceptions of recontextualization, each highlighting different aspects of reusing text signs. I got that. There's different ways of recontextualizing stuff, which actually is interesting here, right? So check it out. It looks, we got to read it. I saw that right there. I see the way it's cut up here. Got to know that. So first, it looks like there's levels and dimensions of recontextualization. So we can divide the way things can be recontextualized into a couple different ways. So when we're looking at art that is using appropriation, at the core of appropriation is recontextualization, right? We should be able to say, well, what is it actually doing with that recontextualization? So first, we've got the Bauman and Briggs, the political economy of text. So Bauman and Briggs argue that recontextualization and contextualization are informed by the political economy of text, which that phrase is absolute gibberish to me. Recontextualization and recentering is culturally and socially situated. Therefore, it is bound in socially produced norms and structures, including but not limited to power differentials. Bauman and Briggs claim that recontextualization of text includes a varying amount of control that depends on access, legitimacy, competency, and value. I already understand what they're saying by reading that through. Exactly. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. So, access refers to the location of the source text, sign, or meaning, which can be shaped by institutional structures. You know what would be so useful for this instead? We'll go to my friend ChatGPT and I'll say, take this definition and give me an example of each one. Boom. Political economy of text is captured in the first index with LLMs. What do you mean by that? You lost me. Okay, so, and also we're gonna pull these out. Look at this though. Not bad, not bad. See, sometimes you get something gives you something gives you what do you call it? Like no examples. I'm an example boy. So help me out here, okay? So we'll call this ChatGPT, so we know these are Jippity things. Don't mix your Jippity information with your other information. Keep those separate. All right. So first, we'll start with access. Oh, this is hitting, man. This is really good. Damn. All right, check out. This is who we're listening to, too, okay? Oh, it's so nice that we get to actually spend some time listening to some good stuff real quick, just so we know what we're listening to, because we're going to keep listening to it, okay? Pioneer of ambient music in Japan, 1940-2003. R.I.P. 20 years. It hurts. Mostly in the minimalist genre of kankyo ongaku, or environmental music, which is actually, that's what I like about this, right? You hear these little bird sounds and rain and these little which is, I hate to say it, but I'm a rain boy. I like rain at night. I can't sleep without it sometimes, right? Green is the hit that I think a lot of people know, but so we're listening to Air this time, but oh man, so right here, 1994. So Green is magnum opus. 86, couple years later, boom. The training of LLMs is an instantaneous sample of the total political economy of text. Okay, it's a snapshot of it. Yes, one thing that I'm really seeing is that I'm having trouble with the concept of what is the political economy of text. You know what I mean? Yeah, rain just hits it for me. But look this is what you want to be on. We're on annual reviews, okay? So I'm going to say... Actually, I'm going to see if Jippity just knows outright. Dude, autocomplete for me. Stop doing that. Explain... If I'm a programmer who doesn't study linguistics. I hate this. It's too literal. I should have just said explain it to me like I'm a teenager. I don't know. I can't tell you yet. If I read these things, actually, I think it might become more solid in my brain. So that might be a good thing to do. And then I'll keep understanding the bigger definition of it here. But I'm not even reading that, but it's no big deal. Like the word of social, dude, I can't do this. They're always like, bro, okay, cool. You're like, oh, so you're like a teenager, bro. So you know how you like playing Subway Surfers? Like, okay, fine. I'll just learn it the other way, okay? So I'm gonna read the actual things, then the definitions, the examples, then I'll see where I'm at, okay? We can learn. We're not that dumb. We are kind of dumb. Okay, so we're discussing contextualization. Different types of contextualization can happen. We're taking one source, we're showing it somewhere else. Okay, so access refers to the location of that sourced text, sign, or meaning, which can be shaped by institutional structures, right? So that could be showing something that is very lowbrow in a highbrow setting, right? So that's, I think, one example of access. So I'm just gonna, these are gonna be called Beacon examples. We're gonna try and learn. So access showing something lowbrow in a highbrow place. For instance, showing some soup cans, you know, in a gallery. That's not expensive art. What's it doing here? Now, the other way could be just simply showing the Mona Lisa in a, you know, grimy place. You're taking that Mona Lisa and making us think. Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah. Well, I do think that every person who actually got down to it, Baum and Briggs were probably actually psychotically thinking about this stuff so much, and they actually did figure out everything fits in this thing, and I believe it. It just like, it doesn't sometimes fit with like the rest of the world. You know, but it's always fun to learn. I love, anytime people are breaking stuff down, group theory, right? We're doing good. Okay, legitimacy refers to the perceived legitimacy in source, text, sign, or meaning. Okay, so you're trying to elevate something to be more legitimate than it is, or vice versa. You're pretending something that is legitimate isn't legitimate to make a statement, right? Competency refers to the knowledge and ability to carry out the decontextualization and recontextualization of performed discourse successfully and appropriately. What the fuck are you talking about? Competency refers to the knowledge and ability to carry out the decontextualization and recontextualization of performed course successfully and appropriately. Was the act done well, and what factors are in play for it to be considered well done? This can include cultural competency and understanding of the meaning and or of text to a specific cultural context. So it could be that you're taking something and you're fusing it with specific you're taking something and it's being modified or being shown in a context that someone only part of that culture might understand, right? So it's like something that I can't give an example off here, but I can see it in my head. It's like, you know, yeah. I don't know. Value refers to the social importance of the text. Okay, great. So I read those. Here is the examples, okay? It says access. A scientific paper research published in a high-impact subscription journal represents a scenario which access is restricted by institutional structures. Only individuals can have access. This limits. I know what access means, dude. Oh my God. Here, watch this. I need to say, take this and give me 4 examples in art. That, I think, might get me somewhere. Take this and give me an example of each type with art. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's terrible. I understand a little bit more. News articles to stat. I know what all these things mean. So that was not helpful. Jippity, so far terrible. Let's see if this one comes through, okay? There we go. Street art, traditional gallery art. Okay, competency. There we go. This is what I needed. This is what I needed. Digital. What does this say? Example, digitally created versus oil painting. Great. Indigenous art forms versus Western art forms, street art versus traditional gallery art. These are technically places you can like juxtapose. Like, well, if you're recontextualizing, you're putting it into a different context. What is that other context? No matter what, if we say other context, you can put a verse inside there. What's up, Meg? Dude, I want to see Ranger right now. Java's sleeping in the other room right now. I could pull her in here, but she looks pretty happy. She's sleeping. She's sleeping in a nice little, like, you know, pile of blankets. Let's see. Okay, so no matter what, every one of these is recontextualizing, so it's always going to be some sort of verses, which I think is maybe an interesting way of doing it. So by taking the simplest example, which here I'll just steal all these and then do a faster edit. I still am not fully on their web, but it's just tough because you don't want to like spend too much time on the linguistic stuff. I'll read the next thing and it'll all keep coming. Rabbit holes can kill you. Oh, I'm going to keep the word... Stop. What am I doing? Come here. Paste. Thank you. You, and you. That's what I wanted. Digital versus oil. Indigenous versus Western. Aren't there people indigenous to the West? Street art versus gallery. Public versus private. Lovely. Let's keep going. So after Bauman Briggs, those guys are like, you guys are dumb, dude. Per Linnell, that's the linguist I trust because he's the one that right here defined recontextualization for me. So he's already on my side. Bauman and Briggs, I don't even know who you guys are. Plus you're first, so I'm assuming you're older. And this guy came up and said, bro, you're an idiot. Well, until Basil Bernstein. God damn it, Basil. Okay, so Per Linnell says there's intratextual recontextualization within the same text, discourse, or conversation. Intratextual recontextualization plays an important part in most discourse, insofar as it refers to what had been said before. Exactly. Sometimes when you're recontextualizing stuff, you're saying something that had already been said. We're having a conversation right now. We're discussing it within the context of this conversation. But it's still, we are taking sub-fragments of that conversation and recontextualizing it as part of the conversation. It's intra. The one part usually infuses what the other part just said or earlier has said in a new context, thus adding new meaning. This is what we all do on Spaces, right? That's intratextual. Then there's intertextual. Recontextualization that relates elements from different text signs and meanings. For example, the author can speak explicitly or implicitly utilize elements from other texts. So intertextual is that's classic. I'm taking it from one thing and I'm relating it to another. I'm saying let's consider the concept of graffiti within the larger discourse of, I don't know, performance art, right? Okay, now let's recontextualize graffiti within the concept of fine art. And you're like, okay, we're looking at it in different ways here. I don't know, okay. Right? The importance of this becomes clear when the meaning of a word is clearly based on its meaning in other context. The meaning of a word is clearly based on its meaning in other context. Okay? Interdiscursive. Jesus Christ. This is all tongue twisters. Interdiscursive recontextualization across different types of discourse, such as genres in which are more abstract and less specific. In Faircloth, chain of genres are closely connected to interdiscursive recontextualization. Chains of genres denote how genres are interdependent on discursive material, such as the relation between interviews, transcripts of interviews, and the analysis of interviews. However, interdiscursive recontextualization is also abundant between the large interdiscursive entities or formation and is part of society's discursive workshare. Jesus Christ, dude. An example of this could be the uses of statistical theory in social science with the purpose of testing quantitative analysis. Thank you. I'm totally learning about art. I'm learning so much about art. I'm getting art. I'm nuts. This is good. This is good. Last one. We had to take a Jesus Christ. We had to take a detour. Sometimes you got to go. The brain's got to hurt. Now, though recontextualization is often used within linguistics, it is interdisciplinary applications. That's what I'm concerned with. Now, Basil Bernstein uses it to study the state and pedagogical discourse and the construction of educational knowledge. Those are interesting of mine. He says his concept of pedagogical device consists of three fields: the fields of production, recontextualization, and reproduction. Okay, cool. It's how to teach people better using recontextualization. We don't need to go down there. Who's Basil Bernstein real fast? So sociology of education, that makes sense. 24 to 2000, nice. Okay, very cool. Okay, we'll get into you one other day. So, get out of here. This is the Richard Bauman Briggs, where they first introduced, actually, these concepts of recontextualization. When is this from? 1990. Lovely. 1990. I am not going to go back and read this, though, okay? Just so you know. So, it's not going in the later. Let's keep going on appropriation. That is what we've done to read that much of a Wikipedia article. That's what I'm saying. When you read a Wikipedia article, it takes a little bit of time. Let's keep going. We made it out of the top. Oh, we made it to definition. Big day. Appropriation, similar to found object art, is an artistic strategy, the intention, borrowing, copying, and alteration of pre-existing images, objects, and ideas. It has been defined as the taking over into a work of art of a real object or even an existing work of art. Slow down. It's defined as the taking over into a work of art of a real object or even an existing work of art. Okay. The Tate Gallery, I got it. It's an existing work of art, a real object becomes art. The Tate Gallery traces the practice back to Cubism and Dadaism, but then continuing into the 1940s, Surrealism in the 50s with pop art. So, starts with the cubes, then to the Dada, then to the Surrealism, then to the pop, it seems. History of appropriation. Now, it returned to prominence in the 1980s with the Neo Geo. Neon Minimalist. I like Neo Geo. Neo Geo's back. But it's back today. It's common practice with Richard Prince, dude. Richard Prince, man. He's making money. Jeff Koons making money. Sherry Levine, part of the Photograph Ladies. Lovely. Let's see. So the question is, who is doing it today? That's obviously a question here, right? I'm going to copy this whole thing real fast. Take this, reformat it, put it in quotes so I know it's stolen. And then the question is simple. Who after the, Richard Prince, Debcast, Shireen Levine. Is it Shireen? Sherry Levine. I don't know why I always want to make things from Levine. Who they got? Koons? Really? Yeah, he is doing it. You're right. That's what he does. Here's the Hulk. Great. Made a medal. Who after has progressed, what do you call it? Appropriation. And the question is always, what is the purpose? This is questions. What is the purpose of each artist using appropriation? Because we've already said before, appropriation originally, when Duchamp is making his ready-mades, he is saying this is specifically not retinal art. This is not art to simply look at. It has a concept behind it. You appropriate it for a reason. Why are you appropriating it? You're recontextualizing it. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to recontextualize things, right? We can look at all the definitions. I don't care if you're a Bauman and Briggs person or if you're a Basil Bernstein or maybe you're even God dang it, I almost had that last guy's name. I was so close. Where is he at? We were close. We were bullshitting really good there. Perlinel, God. Perlinel, or a Perlinel, right? However, you are taking the different ways you can reappropriate things, and then you get to choose what aspects you want to play with it, right? Are you reappropriating something based off of its context in history, based off of how you define the value of something, how you conceive something as good art or bad art, or sexy or not sexy, or any concept? You can, you got it. Recontextualization is the core, right? Okay, so 19th century. Many artists made references to the works by previous artists or themes. So this is the earlier starting of it's not really appropriation, it's references. This is a big thing you see throughout art, and it's just a fun thing when you become a nerd and you learn about paintings. You're like, oh my God, that references this, and you tell everyone and you feel like a smarty pants. So in 1856, Ingres painted the portrait Madame Moitié. Cannot say anything correct. The unusual pose is known to have been inspired by the famous ancient Roman wall painting, Hercules finds his son Telephas. In doing so, he created a link between the model and the Olympian goddess. Now, are they saying this is not the first one? They're not claiming this is the first one, but let's check out this hot image. Come on, give me something good. Okay. Oh, look at that pose. Oh, it's like it's like a finger up and it's kind of a rough hand. 2 fingers down. Little naked butt. Let's not get kicked off here, okay? Love that. Hard pose. And then if we go to the Madame, look at, she's got the weird finger, but look at, she's actually got more like 3 down. Look at it, gang sign-esque. So she's got more 3 down. It's still close, right? There's do not get banned for the butt, please. Also, this is a good website right here, arthistoryresources.net. This is, this is the shit that's got good info. God, so look at it. It's more, fingers are tough. It's hard to control your hand to even do what they're doing. Okay, but still good. This is the pose you want to do. I'm going to start to knock it. Like every time like someone takes a photo of me, you got to hit them with the Hercules. Okay. Manet painted Olympia, inspired by, which I don't know how to say this. And also, I was just reading because this Titian, right? There's Titian and there's Giorgiani. God, I gotta learn how to pronounce these people. I'm gonna do that right now. But this guy is the rare version of this guy. They have similar styles, but I'm reading about Duveen. Apparently, someone got pissed because there was a painting, and then like Rockefeller's buying it for a fucking $1 million, and there's a guy that Duveen used back in the day to guarantee whether it's going to be a Titian or this other guy, which we're gonna learn in a second, Giannoni, right? And the guy wouldn't, he was like, I don't know about this one, I don't know about this one. And he sold it to the guy. He's like, don't worry, my guy said it's good. And then he found out he didn't say it was good. He's like, I want a refund. And then they went to court and, you know, life is fun. And they were enemies for the rest of their lives. So let's learn how to say this.
Giorgione.
Giorgione. Giorgione. It was so easy. I got the picture of him right here. Giorgione. Giorgione. I sounded so ignorant before. If I would have done that before, I would have known. Gotta be the artist.
Titian.
Titian? Is it Titian? Is it Titian? Titian? Titian in Giorgione? Titian. Giorgione. Titian's a hard name. But these are both some Renaissance masters here. Where'd I go? I lost him. I lost Titian and Giorgione. What the heck is going on here? Well, I can just find it once again. Let's get out of that. Recontextualization, get out of that. We'll keep that up. Get rid of those. We'll come to those in a second. There he is. Okay. There's Titian. Here's Giorgione, which is great. I'm already learning with these guys here, okay? Got to learn a little bit more. Dude, look, that's his self-portrait. Jesus Christ, that's tight. Oh, my God. I would kill to do a self-portrait of myself wearing an outfit like that. 2 Chainz. Ballin'. Writing something down. Or maybe that's a spoon or a fork. Venetian School, High Renaissance. Also, if you guys don't know, it's all about the High Renaissance, okay? Beautiful. But God, awesome. Titian Giorgione. Let's go back to the story. Oh, gotcha. So, Manet's Olympia was inspired by, oh, God. Gotta get banned. God, these guys love naked. Well, it's so funny. I'm reading all about, like, you know, oh God. Let me scroll down a little bit. So I'm reading about how, what is it? All the rich Americans, like the rich industrials, your Rockefellers, Carnegie, they want to buy art, and they're like, well, what? They don't collect art yet. So Duveen's like trying to teach them what art they like, and it's like, what do they like? They go, we like hot naked girls in bright colors, and he's like, okay, and they're like, this is a masterful piece. Look at it, it's an old fat king, and they're like, the Americans like the naked girls, and so obviously Titian was hot back then, you know, for good reason. If you don't know, it wasn't just oh boy, he wasn't just this is art. You can't get banned for this. Actually, this is art. You can't get banned. But oh boy, imagine having that in your house. And then Manet hit him up with look at that, a little bit, you know. They were shocked by the confrontational gaze, combined with the number of details identifying her as a demi-mondaine or a courtesan, which is the women's on the fringes of respectable society, often specifically for wealthy lovers. Ooh, boy. Let's see. Also, Olympia was associated with prostitutes in the 1960s in Paris. They're a prostitute! No! The orchid flower in her hair, her bracelet, pearl earrings, the oriental shawl in which she lies, the upright black cat are symbols of wealth and sensuality. The black ribbon around her neck, in contrast with her pale skin, and cast-off slipper emphasize the voluptuous atmosphere. The painting takes inspiration from Titian's Venus of Urbino, where the left hand of Titian's Venus is curled and appears to entice. Olympia's left hand appears to block, which has been interpreted as a symbolic of her role as a prostitute, granting access to her body in return for payment. Manet replaced the little dog, symbol of fidelity, in Titian's painting for a black cat. Everything, they got a black cat. They're just just killing it. Every little thing. Look at blocking. If we go back to Titian, not blocking. Got a dog, cutie dog. amazing, though. That Titian, imagine that Titian in your house. That'd be sick. Actually, I wonder how much this last sold for. Let's see if we can find this. Last sale price. Well, hopefully eBay will have it. 16.9. 16.9. 2011. $17 million. Right now, it is in the Met. Fuck yeah. Jesus Christ. 17 million. Damn. Worth it. Okay, back to business here. Very fun. Just a quick little Manet detour because it's fun. And the other thing I did want to look at here is they were saying who is the model. They said this is a Victorine Murnette, recognized by viewers of the painting because she was well known in the Paris circles. Oh my God. So she's also a painter herself. So she's a painter. She's a cool socialite type character. And then he's like, I'm going to paint you naked. And everyone's like, whoa, that's her? All right. Lovely. Oh, she appears in fiction. Jesus Christ. She's got her own fiction section. Look at this. She's in George Moore. Bunch of people writing about her. There she is again. Manet again. Damn, Manet had a crush. Playing guitar. Playing croquet. Jeez, Manet. Alfred Stevens is like, I'll do one. See if that'll work. And Manet's like, nah, put in the work, bro. Back off, homie. I'm working on this. Okay, cool. Back to business. Another example. Wait. It says, let's see. His painting, he's got another one here. The Le Déjeuner sur les Herbes, which is inspired by Marc Antonetti Raimondi's The Judgment of Paris, 1515. Gustave Courbet is believed to have seen the famous woodcut, The Great Wave of Kanagawa, which I'm probably saying wrong too, which we all have seen. And he was inspired by it? Okay. Vincent van Gogh can be named with the examples of paintings he was inspired by. Jean-Francois Millet. Delacroix. Oh, dude, my boy Delacroix. Dude, I was just reading about this guy. It's so sad. Check us out. Dude, I was getting so sad for this guy. Look at this. I'm just trying to read about him. I'm having a good time just reading about Delacroix. But then all of a sudden, they just have to put in here that he's goddamn impotent and his wife cheats on. He's like, well, he's got erectile dysfunction. Oh, here it is. Delacroix, who at the time suffered from erectile dysfunction, returned to Paris in early 1797, only to find his wife pregnant. It's like, why'd you have to do my boy like that? Leave that out of the Wikipedia article. I was just reading about my boy, and it's like, also, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to support his art. Why do you got to just roast him? But lovely, Vincent van Gogh, inspired by Delacroix. In 1889, Van Gogh created 20 painted copies inspired by Millet's black and white prints. He enlarged the compositions on the prints. He painted them in color. According to his own imagination, he wrote in the letters that he had set out to translate them into another language. He was not copying. If a performer plays some Beethoven, he'll add his own personal interpretation to it. It isn't a hard and fast rule that only the composer plays his own compositions. More examples can be found by copies by Vincent van Gogh. So the copies by Vincent van Gogh, that is probably interesting. I've never even known about this. How am I so stupid? Oh, I know. Because I'm not dead yet. And I'll always keep learning I'm stupid. As long as I keep learning things. You learn you're stupider. Copies of VVG. So he made copies of other people's work from 1887 to 1890. They can be considered appropriation art. So this is some of the earliest appropriation art is our boy right here, Van Gogh. Van Gogh's on it early, and he's not doing it quite in the exact same way of purely conceptual, right? So I don't know if he's asking you to recontextualize here, right? So that's an interesting part, because we said, well, can you have appropriation art without recontextualization? I think the answer is yes, but I need to work through that more. However, what he's saying here, he's interpreting it in his own way as if a musician interprets a piece by a composer. When you do that, you're not asking the person to necessarily think about how you interpret it. You're telling people to enjoy the interpretation, right? It's enjoy the music, enjoy the visuals of it. So it does feel like this is lacking the concept of recontextualization, even though you're just, I guess, recontextualizing it within his style. So no matter what, that's recontextual. I don't know. Recontextualizing within the course of Vincent van Gogh's career. I don't know. So he was trying to be reinvigorated. He started doing these. He was mixing them up, taking black and whites, giving colors to them, right? So here is Emile Bernard's, and then Picasso was like, brown. Here is the Virgin de Montbreton, and he's like, blue. No. Nice, love it. Look at that. I love his. I love the original, but yeah, interesting. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Oh, wow, what are these? Look at this. Damn. So he started looking at Japanese wood blocks. The Kisai Eisen print appeared on the May cover of the Paris Illustrateur magazine. And he had to make this after that's done. Nice. God, he's a copycat. He's such a copycat. Lovely. Look at those guys. Having a fun time. Okay, back to work. Great shit, though. Also, this music is hitting. Sounds beautiful to me. All right. Let's see. Created a ton. We got it. Beautiful. Now, Claude Monet, the collector of Japanese prints, created several works inspired by these, such as the Garden of Saint Adressy, inspired by Fuji on the platform of Sasebo, the Water Lily series under Manin Bridge on Fukagawa. So let's just check out a couple of these. You know, when I was a kid, the Monets, they hit me hard. Went to the National Gallery as a little boy. They got a whole Monet room. They got a bunch of impressionists, and you go there and you see the cathedral, you see the water lily pond. I'm gonna take this article and I'm gonna add this to my continuing my later section, which I'm gonna now. Well, it's fine where it's at actually. But I'm going to do a quick speed read right now. I can't help myself, okay? The Paris International Exposition of 1867 brought Japanese art into France, signaling the beginning of Japanism, and to the attention of prominent artists of the time, such as Monet, Manet, and Degas. Monet especially was heavily influenced by Japanese printmaking, screen painting, and woodblocking. Monet delighted in the linearity and stylization of Japanese prints, which is shown in the monochrome color schemes of his paintings. Japanese art shaped the way he saw landscapes, nature, and modern life. Monet collected many of these prints. He was constantly smart with the art style. He incorporated them into his style very often. The origin of his fascination is unknown. Shut the fuck up, dude. Sometimes you just see stuff and you're like, damn, dude, that's fucking sick. And it's like, why do you have to, like, where's the origin? Where is the origin? But where is the origin? You know, I've actually never listened to. This is Neroli. Let me see, Brian. You know, I'm a big Brian Eno boy. Ooh, already nice in the ears. But I've never listened to Neroli. What an idiot by me. This is after Thursday afternoon. How the fuck have I never listened to this? One song too, banger. Damn it. But it's okay. We listen to it now. I'm fucking hyped. Ooh, that sounds good on the ears. Let me look at that cover too. Beautiful cover. Love that. It's a smiley face. All right, back to work. Damn, look at that Titian. Jesus. Gonna get banned. This is really good so far. All right, so Monet, we got that. We have to look at a couple of things, okay? So let's go take a look at the Water Lily Pond. Princeton Art University. Ah, yes. Simply gorgeous. I heard Monet was going blind. He couldn't see, and that's why he made it all smudgy like this. That's pretty much it. He's not a good painter. He's not revolutionary. He just has bad vision. He thought he was killing it. He wasn't trying to be a revolutionary. I actually don't, whatever. Passionate horticulturist. Damn, that's fire, though. That's way better than his style. That's way better than Monet. Way better. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, it's actually taking me. It's not taking me this artist, actually. That's so funny. Oh, sick. It's a React website. Cool. This is Princeton forgot to remove the default React favicon. You goopballs. It's okay. It's okay. I wonder how I haven't checked Dolly in a minute. Let's see how it does for Damn. It's just so appealing. I like how the colors are washed out. It's a sick umbrella, sick fit, sick style. I want to live there. I want to live there. These dudes just hanging out, man. The bath, look at that. We got dragons putting out water, big old bridge. Beautiful clouds. Venice Beach, in the style. Let's see if how it's in the style. It's going to reject me. Whoa, I'm going to get 2. I haven't got 2 in a long time. Pretty sick, actually, dude. Like, they rejected me from 2 for a while. We're back. Okay, back to work. Life is great. Actually, here's just an artist. Let's just do it. I'll add this to later. Just deep dive. For fun. For aesthetics. Not really. Not quite. Kinda. Wait, where's the other one? Go back. I didn't mean to click this one. Take me the other one. There you go. Not bad. Even more blank styled. Highly stylized. I'm just being stupid. Okay. Back to work. Appropriation. Love that. Cool. We've done it, dude. We've done really great. Look at that. We read all of that. You know, just had to take a couple detours. We're about to get to Pablo. You knew Pablo was coming up. All right. Well, Marcel's coming up, but we always got to stop at Pablo. Pablo and George Brack appropriated objects from a non-art context into their work. Pablo pasted a piece of oilcloth onto the canvas. Such subsequent compositions to guitar, a newspaper, glass, and bottle. He would use newspaper clippings to create forms and early collage that became categorized as a part of synthetic cubism. The two artists incorporated aspects of the real world into their canvas, opening up discussion of the significance in artistic representation. Yes. So, Picasso, Brack, they're both saying, yo, check it out. I'm putting some cloth. I'm putting some newspaper. I'm putting a piece of glass there. Check it out. It's part of the art. And everyone's like, whoa, you're using stuff in ways that wasn't meant to be art. At a material level, though, right? Materials being brought in and, you know, that's what they're recontextualizing. That's what the recontextualization, that's what the reappropriation has, okay? Oh boy, we're gonna have to get, oh boy, look at this one, oh boy. Okay, first of all, semiotics, that's the good shit. Everything starts there. Yep, this is what we should be reading now. We gotta slow down and talk about qualis signs, Sinsen signs, and Leggy signs. Then once we go a little bit deeper into semiotic theory, I think that we can probably really understand what's good art and what's bad art. So okay, first of all, this is the best spot. This is the best article I've ever read. Okay. This is the best shit ever. Okay, I'm gonna save this. This is definitely a fun deep dive. Not doing it now, because this is 4 hours. But hey, we're figuring out future streams. God, this is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a banger. Back to business. Now, Marcel, he introduced the ready-mades, industrial-produced utilitarian objects, achieved the status of art merely by the process of selection and presentation. He explored this notion in 1913. He mounted a stool with a bicycle wheel, and again in 1915 when he purchased a snow shovel and inscribed it with an advance of broken arm. He organized the submission of a ready-made to the Society of Independent Artists, which was under the pseudonym R. Mutt. This is the classic fountain. The work. Oh, also, remember, very important, remember. Marcel Duchamp takes a urinal, presents it as the fountain. Fantastic, classic. We love this piece of art. Later, I don't even know how many years later, 70 years, 60 years later, Brian Eno is giving a talk at I don't know where, the Met, wherever the fountain is. And he's like, I just gave a talk. I was on stage. They invited me here. I'm a big artist. There's the fountain. I'm going to pee in the fountain. And Brian Eno went and he peed in this infamous piece of artwork. And that is why he is just, the guy who wrote this right here. That's the kind of guy who would pee in the fountain. He's the smartest guy ever. Oh my God, we got the Jerry Saltz. Okay, God, do we have Brian in here? There it is. Here you go. Yes. So Brian Eno declared, MoMA. He declared he successfully urinated in the fountain while he's exhibited there. He admitted it was only a technical triumph because he needed to urinate in a tube in advance so he could convey the fluid through the gap between a protective glass. Okay, wow. So he had Jesus Christ. And then another guy did it later in '99, which is just not as cool if you're the second guy to pee in the fountain. But okay, cool. Good shit. Good. Oh man, when I was younger, oh man, Durain. I was so into Durain. Look at how he looked here. Part of the Les Fauves. How do you say them? I don't speak French here, but dude, this is what I was way into. I was just a young kid though. Oh my God, I saw this so many times. I saw this a million times in person, and I would be so hyped to go. I remember I've seen it online, going and seeing it, and then seeing it like 30 more times. I had a relationship with this one. You know what I mean? He was near the Monets. Also, we got to get these things updated, okay? Those triple curlies. Handlebars ain't working. All right, we'll go to Durain. But look at that style. All right. Goodbye, Durain. Goodbye, Braque. Picasso, we could spend all day on you. So, yep, through Duchamp. Now, into Dadaism, okay? Because remember, we started with Cubism. Why did we start at Cubism? Well, specifically, we're talking about people like Pablo Picasso or George Braque who are taking items that are not considered part of the art practice, glass, newspaper, cloth, building early collages and things like that. So they're recontextualizing materials as something to be used in art. And that's a form of appropriation in some ways. Taking a newspaper and using it in art is a form of appropriation, but it's not to the same crazy level where Duchamp is taking something and almost modifying it. None. To have people recontextualize it, right? They're still like putting it into a larger system. If that makes sense. Now, we were saying earlier people were not appropriating. They were pulling references into stuff. I'm calling it references. Is it appropriating? I don't know. Then Duchamp blew it the fuck open, though. But then, that's what I'm confused about. So it sounds like Duchamp. I mean, but Duchamp, yeah, well, Duchamp, well, I guess, yeah. Duchamp is like pre-Dada in my mind, but he's Dada. I don't understand what we're supposed to consider him. So he is Dada. So that's why we are saying it really is Dadaism, is where it really is starting. I just don't consider Duchamp a Dada artist. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? I should be thinking. I just think of him as like the first ever conceptual artist. I mean, he is, yeah, Cubism, Dada. I just think of him as the first intense conceptual artist, the first anti-retinal artist. I don't know. Maybe I should be thinking Dada if I'm putting in this historical context. Who cares? I'm too dumb. Okay, so play with appropriation every day. They works found deliberate irrationality and the rejection of the prevailing standards of art. Kurt Schwitters showed a similar sensibility in his Murs works. He constructed parts of these from found objects, and they took the form of Gesamtkunstwerk constructions, which are now called installations. Right, so this is the start of installation art in many ways. During his nice period, not niche, nice. Matisse painted several paintings of odalisques, which doesn't exist right here, inspired by, okay, well, so the link doesn't exist, which I love that. Female slave concubine in harem, especially one in the Sarajevo of Sultan Turkey. What are you talking about? These are female slaves, female sex slaves in Turkey. Okay. So Matisse is making a bunch of female sex slaves. I gotcha. Inspired by Eugene Delacroix, famous for his not working penis. Women of Algiers. Now, the Surrealists after incorporated the use of found objects, such as Merritt Oppenheimer's object, Luncheon in Fur, and then Dali's lobster telephone, which is just good shit. That's real art. That's good shit. It's a lobster telephone. Awesome. Then we'll go into 1950s with Robert Rauschenberg and whatnot. So I guess I should spend a little bit more time, like kind of rewriting down what these ideas are. But let me grab a drink first. Make sure Shab is okay. All right. All right. Back to work. It's good, though. It's helping me. I'm making progress. Making progress. But look at all that work I gotta get through. No big deal. Actually, cause, exactly. Okay, so let's go to, like, the history section, actually. Oh, my God. This Eno is hidden, too. Wait a minute. 1 minute. Hey, what's up, girl? Hey, come here. Come here. Wait. Wanna go outside? You need to go outside? Oh, sorry. Dog had to pee. Oh, she was scaring me too. She wasn't eating because she's like, I'm dog sitting her and she's scaring me. She's happy now, but she's eating now. She's had to pee. Everything's good. I'm just nervous. I'm not a dog dad, so I don't want to ruin my friend's dog. We'll see if she'll hang out with me in a little bit. Okay, so let's break down the history. Okay, so we're gonna go over to here. And we got history appropriation. So really, it's like this. So Cubism is, I'm going to define it this way. We're going to say simply PP, which is Pablo Picasso. And Braque start using, things like newspaper in their work. Early collage. I got to look at the history of collage. Early collage work. It's like I'll redefine this better later, but this gets my core idea that I can back up and expand on more. It's recontextualizing the materials as art materials, right? So then we get into Dadaism, Would you say this is the closest definition? So what we're reading right here is the definition of appropriation in art. And I think so far, the best way someone put it is the use of pre-existing objects or images with, oh no, sorry. This is the practical application that we heard earlier. It's the use of pre-existing objects or images with little or no transformation applied to them. That doesn't really do much for me. Later on, so this concept of little or no transformation and then the use of it. However, we've learned that a key concept is the recontextualization of these objects. So then we actually saw a much better definition, which is, well, no, this is the definition of a ready-made, which I think kind of applies if we reword it. An ordinary object elevated to the dignity of a work of art by the mere choice of an artist. God, I want to have sort of appropriation, no matter what, is we're taking something that's already pre-existing and we're recontextualizing it. It has to involve recontextualization. Something has to change about it. That change forces recontextualization. So it is at its core, it's using a pre-existing object or image in a new context. Now, how we change that context, what things we're playing with, how we frame stuff is insane. Context is one of like the most varied thing possible, I guess. So I'm working through this myself. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I'm dumb. So the history of this, right? We start with Cubism. We got like people like Pablo Picasso who are saying, hey, I'm taking some newspaper clippings and I'm putting in my art right here. And I'm actually recontextualizing these materials into my art. And it's forcing you to say like, wait, wait a minute, newspaper is art? Well, I thought it was just paint, right? Oh, well, it's early on. Now, Dadaism, we got Duchamp, right? So this is just like the, ready-mades are the purest form of appropriation art, right? It's appropriation art at its essence. And the reason why I would say that it involves so little change. Involves so little change. You're confronted solely with the concept / problem of recontextualization. Of appropriation or recontextualization. Yeah. Now, things didn't stop there, but the key is this. It's really Cubism, then Dadaism. But remember, Surrealism is after Dadaism. But they're so fucking weird and so base that they just figured everything out and went the most extreme ever, and it's like always going to be the thing here. You know what I mean? Lovely Latitude badge. Hey, I'm glad someone's found this interesting. I do, right? You got to kind of dive in and like trying to figure shit out, and then everyone's so smart. They got degrees. I don't understand stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just over here tapping away on my computer. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't have answers. You know what I mean? We're trying to put it in our own words too. And I feel like, whatever. I hate courses. So after Dadaism, right, we have Surrealism, right? And that's where we're looking at Lobster Phone. Now, Lobster Phone, it's not a ready-made, right? It's this ready-made mixed with a lobster. Oh my God. I got to ponder Lobster Phone, truthfully. So what is different? It's taking like the essence of a ready-made and it's infusing surrealism. And what is surrealism? Surrealism in this context, everything's recontextualization, is we're recontextualizing ordinary objects into a surreal world, right? An ordinary object into a surreal world. The Lobster Phone makes us imagine a world where the Lobster Phone is normal, right? It's an ordinary object with another thing we are familiar with, the lobster. However, the lobster doesn't belong on a phone in this context. How would a lobster help? It's absurd. It's surreal. So it is also a pure version of appropriation, but you're just mashing it up next to the surreal, right? And well, goddamn. Let's do a quick little review. Well, first of all, let's see what we got here. I'll read Lobster Phone, okay? God, the off-white Lobster Phone, so rare. You want lobster dunks? I want lobster foam. All right, here let's grab a couple of these real fast. See what I would think. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, like the tweet that's coming in my mind is almost like it's like a lobster dunk. Let's see. What's the best lobster dunk to show for a joke? Right. Well, I don't want to put the cheap ones. I don't want to do the. I mean, no. You got to do the red. I think the yellow is actually the best. Let's do yellow. This is the joke. Yeah, this is a lobster-based shoe. That's why it's got a rubber band around it. Wow, $125,000 for this thing now. What the fuck is going on in this world? The last sale was $42,000. What the fuck? Also, give me the fucking picture of the shoe. Okay, well, I got this. I'm writing a dumb tweet, right? It's really an important tweet, though. It's going to be super good, okay? There we go. Oh, my God. Everything is so small. Why is every website trying to hide the image from me? There we go. That's good. This is good enough. I'll steal your image. Thank you. Oh, my God. Here, watch this. I think you'll love this, Two Rips. This is a great tweet. Let me find my other, boom. So I'll take this little template right here. I'll say, what boys collect, what men collect. You got it here. I'll make it a little bigger like that. There you go. There we go. Where's that other thing I was already looking at? Oh, the lobster. I already think I saved it. Let me just go. Dude, how good is... Look at I'm so bad at editing stuff, but, like, I can do this. It's the only thing I can do. Take that. Take this. Just crop it in. Good enough. Ship it. All my fellas got what boys collect, what men collect. Okay. Tweet this now to no engagement. Because, first of all, no one's going to like this tweet in the first place. But also, you're doing it at like 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. But you got to stay true to yourself. I think that's one thing that's important. So here we go. We're going to go here. Going to do a little bit of an image. What boys collect, what men collect here. Done. Okay, back to business. Bada boom, bada boom. That was pretty fast, though. It's pretty fast. I'm trying to get faster at my memes. Gotta learn how to crank up the memes. You gotta be able to do it, you know, with a reasonable speed. Okay. So, Lobster Phone, great description. I don't want to die on Lobster Phone, but let's do this, okay? When Dolly was commissioned by the magazine American Weekly to execute a series of drawings based on his impressions of New York, one drawing was given the caption, New York Dream, man finds lobster in place of phone. Dolly contributed an entry under telephone aphrodisiac, which is accompanied by a small drawing of a telephone. Its receiver replaced by a lobster surrounded by flies. And The Secret Life of Salvador Dali contains the following. I do not understand why, when I was asked for a grilled lobster in a restaurant, I was never served a cooked telephone. I do not understand why champagne is always chilled, and why, on the other hand, telephones, which are habitually so frightfully warm and disagreeably sticky to the touch, are not put in silver buckets with crushed ice on them. Okay, great. I know. We got it, Dali. We got it, Dali. We got it. Hamming it up for the camera a little bit. Cool. So that's surrealism, right? They're taking it, they're infusing it with the core of surrealism. Great. Then we finally get to pop art and realism. Also, I love pop art next to Robert Rauschenberg. What are you talking about? Dreamcore, a little bit of dreamcore. Dude, when's the first genre of art that had core in it? That's the most important genre of art. Everything's a core now. When was the first core? Also, we should replace every single genre that people call right now and be like, dude, I'm actually in a really cool new art movie. You probably not heard of it. It's like surrealism core. And you're like, it's called surrealism. You're like, no. I'm into abstract expressionism core. I just think adding core is going to be cooler. So we've got the Robert Rauschenberg combines. I would say combines. You know, he's from Texas, okay? It's going to be a combine. So he's combining ready-made objects such as tires, beds, paintings, silk screens, collage, photography. Similar as Jasper John, working at the same time incorporating many found objects into his work. Totally love that. Now, what is Rauschenberg doing different, right? So what is Rauschenberg doing different than Duchamp and, you know, Dali, right? So Robert is combining multiple objects but not explicitly trying to create, what do you call, surreal environments, right? Surreal, yeah, environments maybe is the wrong word, but whatever, I'm going to say that for now. Often, he was creating very, like, I don't want to say the word muted. It's like not muted. It's like it's like, you know, aggressively mundane. No, I'm saying what he's combining is so ordinary and boring. It sounds like I'm insulting Robert, you know? Let's look at Robert Rauschenberg bed and work on describing it. See, like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, you're not trying to be like, whoa, what a wacky. It's not a wacky lobster. It's like pants and newspaper and painting, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's okay. Let's see. In 1858, Bruce Conner produced a movie in which he recombined existing films. What the fuck? I'm not allowed to watch movies. Now I want to watch this. Wait, it's art. I think I'm allowed to watch this, actually. Ooh, I just found a loophole. In 1958, Rafael Montanez Ortiz produced Cowboy and Indian film, a seminal appropriation film work. Okay, let's do a quick deep dive. That's interesting. These are early. This is the Smithsonian American Art Museum, and this is the actual film. And you can just download it right now. Screen image JPEG. I can get this image. Oh, I can download this image. I want the fucking movie, bro. It's a movie, bro. Let me see it. Let me watch it. So, Ortiz produced experimental works in which he used existing films as the raw material for his own art. In Cowboy and Indian film, he originally chopped up several copies of Anthony Mann, Western Winchester 73, and then randomly reassembled. I was doing this when I was young. I was cutting up movies and reassembling them in college. I was doing this for my art, quote unquote, and Final Cut Pro was always dying because I was trying to make fucking 24-hour long videos where I'm cutting up one movie cut into itself or two movies cut into itself, and I was like really, really fucking into this. But I was just doing it because I was fucking insane, and I like the idea. I like stuff looping, and I liked it looping in like smaller intervals and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's really fun to watch stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like where something like happens and it loops, and then when it comes in, it loops a little bit quicker, and then it loops quicker, and like that's like a really, really fun way to like onion watch media that I feel like no one is like experimenting with, or someone probably is. Great. So his destructive act also criticized media depictions of Native Americans. Awesome. So am I able to watch this anywhere? Let me add the name of the artist. That will probably help me. That download was killing me. 1957. Here's a little Facebook video. Great. Piano destruction ritual destroying smart history. Yeah, Internet Archive is good. A lot of times it should come up in this search here, I thought, though, too. Yeah, so I've got it Smithsonian American Art. It was at Whitney. It was at Light Cone. Oh, it's got a letterbox review. Let's read that. Let's see. What is Smartify? I'm not going to obviously watch it now, but I'd like to be able to find it later. Not on view. Shut up. Digital file on server, 4K. Rental fee, 3,200 croissants. Cool. You could rent it for some croissants. Letterbox. What's the review? I don't know. I've never been on Letterbox. I don't know how to read reviews. I don't watch movies, so. Cool. All right, I'll find it later. Cool concept enough. I think I'm allowed to watch that too. So let's go back to... Well, film is interesting in this, even though I'm obviously anti-film. But, so Bruce Conner did a movie. I'm going to check that out too. And I love that name. That's going to be the first earliest appropriation movie. That's got to be good. So boom, we've got a movie on Vimeo. I'm allowed to watch this. It's what, 11 minutes? Yeah, we're watching it. Pausing the Eno. We made it 33 minutes into that Eno song. This doesn't count a movie. It's art. Bruce Conner! Shava, my dog in there was like, why is he yelling? It's late. So this is cut up from footage. I didn't even read what it is. I'm going to do a raw reaction. Great start. Not good for my TikTok brain. 30 seconds. A movie by Bruce Conner. Saw somewhere. I saw end of 10-9. I'm seeing numbers now. It is counting down. Oh, God. Oh, God. Lo, please don't get banned off. Oh, my God. Let's not get banned. Please don't be more nude. Please, please, please. Oh, God. I'm going to get banned. Please, please less. Please less. It's art. It is art. It's in the Smithsonian. The end? Okay. So Ortiz was also using, you know, cowboy and Indian footage. Interesting. I feel like there was a lot of early movies. Those trends correspond. Those were popular back then. They're the reality TV show. Meaning that was like the cheap, easy, quick thing to crank out. The cooking contest of... Also, I can just keep reusing the same train footage again and again. A couple reusing the horse footage. Seems like it just took them. Yeah, so far I'm not understanding what's different. Exactly. So, we also haven't read what it is now. But now there's a guy drifting in a car. Maybe he's like, look at that, everyone. It's 1957. I just showed someone riding a car next to people riding a horse. I don't know. This is crazy. These cars are going way fast. He also could have changed the music. God, I do all this stuff. I'm an appropriation artist, I just figured out. Jesus Christ. All right. Movie. I mean, okay. Also, it was so much probably harder to cut back then no matter what. Movie. Genius. All right. This is good. It's developing. It's not. I don't know if I can make it the whole thing. We're only 3 minutes in. I thought we were halfway through. Okay, I think I get the vibe. It's pretty. It's changing music. Look, we got more. We got more. Oh boy. We got C. He's stitching together a bunch of stuff. But this is the first time someone has just stitched it together and added music to it. I think. Let's learn. If I go back to this and we say we'll do Bruce Conner. Bruce Conner. Bruce Conner. So it's Bruce Conner. Wichita. Oh, God. I love Wichita. Let's see. Early career. He got all this cool stuff. Great. But a movie. This is the big deal. 1958. So it's an experimental collage film that combines pieces of found footage taken from various new roles, softcore pornography, and B-movies, all set to a score featuring Ottorino Respighi's Pines of Rome. It's recognized as a landmark work in experimental film cinema, particularly in the example of early found footage. Gotcha. So this is just this is early in history. The budget, $350. So, longest shot, an extended production credit with Bruce's name. After the opening credits, the countdown leader is interrupted by a set of undressing women removing their stockings. Once the countdown completes, an infertitle falsely announces the end of the film. The film moves into a montage of cavalry, tanks, race cars, and charging elephants. Another false ending precedes double false ending. Zeppelin's tightrope walkers on one well-known sequence. A man in a submarine looks through a periscope to see a woman posing in a bikini, leading to a launch of a torpedo in a mushroom cloud. This leads to a water sporting accident. And he's just doing some goofy, wacky stuff, though. He is. It's just moving slower than I was getting through. So, he developed the movie many years before he began working on it. It was inspired by the battle scene of Marx Brothers' Duck Soup that builds a montage from stock footage. So, really, Duck Soup is really the originator of this, right? Yeah, exactly. This is the earliest appropriation art in movie, it seems. So even though if we're watching, it's like blowing the mind here. You know what I mean? So. Okay, cool. I got it. Interesting. Got it. So, boom. It moved into movie. Then the Fluxus boys get in here. Oh my God. Everything's in flux. Jesus Christ. And in Fluxus, they stage actions, events, produce sculptural events. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, great. We got Claes Odenberg, Andy Warhol appropriate images from commercial art and popular culture, as well as techniques of these industries within. For example, the painting Coca-Cola bottles. Pop artists saw the mass emergence, part of the main vernacular culture, shared by the irrespective of education. These artists fully engage with the ephemera produced from this mass-produced culture, embracing expendability and distancing themselves from the evidence on the artist's hands. Among the most famous is Roy Lichtenstein, known for big old comic books and stuff. So pop art is the big subject here. Really, what's going on? I could say Fluxus, but really, so really, it's this. It's like surrealism, right? There's this like, what do you call it? Like, they're not abstract expressionists. That's not what it is. Like, I don't know what they're called. What the fuck is? I hate this stuff. When I like an artist, I don't know what to call them anymore. When I don't like an artist, I'm like, they're a Dadaist, and I'm like, no, he's more than that. Right? So what the fuck? Early works anticipated the pop movement. What are you talking about? He anticipated the pop movement. That's what you're saying? See, he's neo-Dada, he's abstract expressionist, he's pop art. He's not any of those things. Maybe he's neo-Dada. But really it's tough. It's tough. What is he? What is he? I feel like he's like an abstract, non-Dada expressionist. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. So, there's that next thing here. I don't know what you're going to call it. I'm just going to call it abstract expressionism, neo-Dada. Fine. Right? We've got Rauschenberg in that mix. Then, really, pop art really does kind of pop after that pretty soon, right? And so, this is the question, okay? What is pop art doing with recontextualization? So, incorporating, what do you call it? Like mass-produced, consumer commercial goods with limited modification is pure appropriation, but, commenting on making you rethink, right, our relationship with brands or something like that. You get what I'm saying, right? It's like the base idea is you're just like, hey, check it out. This is a consumer product. Now let's pretend it's high art. What the fuck are you saying? That's not all pop art. There's a bunch of different stuff, right? Roy Lichtenstein's obviously doing something way different than that, and everyone's doing different stuff. So let's do it. Well, first of all, let's actually look back here how we want to do this. Whoops, I exited. Let's see. She copycatted include. This is obviously I want to get into this. This Elaine Stu event is like I'm very interested in this here. This is the German artist Sigmar Polke and his friend Gerhard Richter who defined capitalist realism. When you say define capitalist realism, isn't Mark Fisher the guy who made that term up? Am I wrong? What the fuck? I thought he made that up. What are you talking about, bro? When you say define, are you saying? I'm confused. Isn't that Mark's word? You gonna disrespect my boy like that? It's a book by Mark Fisher. Sure. Didn't he make up the term? His most influential idea. Yeah, dude. Okay. This is incorrect. I have to edit Wikipedia now. I'm banned from Wikipedia, and they won't let me in for my inappropriate opinions, though, but I gotta get that. You can't say this. What do you say? Define capitalism, realism. You can't say that. My boy Mark. Poor dude. Okay, cool. The picture generation in Neopop. So I want to go, I got to go dive on Pop before I get deeper into this here. And like, look at all these people. We got Sherry Levine, Cindy Sherman. You know what I mean. Richard Prince. Capitalist realism, is it a framework for an ideology? No, it's like it's a sad philosophical concept. Essentially the idea that it is easier to imagine the end of the world than it is to imagine the end of capitalism. That's not meant to say capitalism is the correct thing. It's a sad realization of the world. And then how do we actually move through the world with that, knowing that? Well, communism is a concept that, has been tried and is being explored and theorized. And even in the failure of communism, it's going to haunt the dark capitalist future that we're inevitably doomed to continue down. Because guess what? Capitalism is actually a sentient being that is going to become alive if you let technology proliferate at all. So even if you let one piece of technology there, it's going to spread to more technology. The technology will eventually, self-perpetuate itself to create a more powerful system. That system actually is capitalism. AI and capital are actually, AI, technology, capitalism, they're all linked. It's actually one crazy amorphous being that is, tricking us humans into birthing it into life. The only way to keep out of it is to follow the writings of Professor Kaczynski, or perhaps become neo-Luddites or something like that. Because God tell you, a little bit of tech, you want your vape to work a little bit better. Vape tech will eventually lead to the AI techno-capital monster to escape. Yeah, that's actually, if you want to get that here, Ghost of My Life, which is after, that's what Mark Fisher wrote after, after Capitalist Realism. And we're going to read this on stream one of these days here. Internet Archive, here it is. Watch this. Grab a random page and it's actually fun. He's awesome. And he's also always referencing like sick bands and shit. He's so fucking cool, man. Oh man, he's always like, dude, I love Mark Fisher. He feels very unpretentious. John Fox's Tiny Color Movies is a welcome addition to this decade's rich cachet of hauntological releases. Fox's music has always had an intimate relation with film, like sound recording photography, with its capturing of lost moments, capturing lost moments is one of the core tenets of hauntology. Right? Its presentation of absences has an inherently hauntological dimension. It wouldn't be an exaggeration that Fox's entire musical career has been about relating the hauntology of the visual with the hauntology of the sound, transposing the eerie calmness and stillness of photography into painting onto the passional agitation of rock. Dude, how fun does that sound? Right? You got to agree, that sounds super sick. Now, at the same time, you hear that, and then this is what I listen to by John Fox all the time, almost every day while I work. And then you're like, okay, all right, like, you're a really good writer, dude. I mean, this is like some of my favorite music. This is what I work to. Like, you were listening to it already, but listen to this. Man. This is with Harold Blood, which is my single most listened to composer of all time, musician of all time. Sadly died just, I think, 2 years ago. But every year, I'm #1 Harold Blood user. And this is with Harold Blood. So John Fox, Harold Blood, that's who you're talking about before. But like, dude. Fuck. That's what you listen to when you want to learn. People's into crazy stuff. Okay. So, to get ourselves a little more grounded, okay? We're going to get through this section here. But we're going to stop on the whole pop article. We're not going to go quite as deep on all of them, right? And then we'll see if we can come up to this article and get through this chunk. And then we'll get into this, because this is also very important. Dude, seriously, covering Hannah, that's a car. I'm going to get banned so many times tonight on Twitch. Jesus Christ. You've never seen the works of Roman Siner. His arts and sculpt that are perhaps the most confusing I've ever seen. I haven't. I have not. Oh, I know him. Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, so I actually want to do a big deep. I know exactly. Sorry. I want to do a deep dive actually on this particular character. It could be actually pretty fun, truthfully. So I want to do that actually. You know, and I don't know. Bullshit or not is the question. You know what I'm saying? It'll be fun though. That's a good idea. Here, actually, I will add that to my next ones because obviously we got to do more of these. Let's go down a little bit deeper to my later. Pop that up there. God damn, this John Fox is hitting though. So, because then we're going to the 90s, then this 21st century, then the digital age. Okay, let's do this, okay? By Rauschenberg. Now, mid to late 1950s, remember, abstract expressionism, the CIA, they're pushing it on us. They're giving money to these people. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand. Jackson Pollock's on the cover of Time. He's still making no money. Doesn't care. Drinking his brains out. And boom. After these guys actually get a little bit of notoriety, it starts to work a little bit. Pop art comes out. And right away, the public was like, fuck yeah, love this. Cool. We like this new art. You don't have to push it on us. It's like, God damn it. Right? I feel like... So... Here's the people that refined it, right? Kitschy elements, irony, right? Irony is recontextualization at its core, right? God, I'm going to become a linguist if I keep going down this rabbit hole. Pop art often takes imagery that is currently in use in advertising, product labeling, or logos, prominently in imagery chosen by pop artists seen in Campbell's Soup Cans by Andy Warhol. Even the labeling on the outside of a shipping box containing food items for retail has been used as subject matter. Exactly, totally. Also, Andy Warhol has a picture of a tiny penis on the moon. That's very important, okay? Let's see. Moon penis. That's a good search. There it is right there. Look at that right there. This is on the moon. That's Andy Warhol's got it up there. Astronaut snuck it up there for another artist. Very cool. If you've never seen the penis on the moon. How cool is that? Rauschenberg too. Sorry, I got to keep going back to the Moon Museum. I'm just obsessed with it. It's so fun. Dude, Claes Oldenburg, the whole crew's here. God, imagine being in the Moon Museum 6. The Moon Museum 6. Okay, car, sorry. Let's back up. Ectopop. God. See, I love Roy Lichtenstein so very much. But what I really like about Roy Lichtenstein is I like the sculptures of the brush strokes that are like comic books. That's 3 levels of irony. That's good shit. That is appropriation. It's great. It's a sculpture of a brush stroke that is drawn in the style of a comic. You know what I mean? It's so good. Brush stroke. These. Don't you get it? Look it. So it's funny that he paints these because... So, right, it's a brush stroke. It's meant to look like the actual brush stroke. But then he does it in the style of a comic book. But then it's a sculpture. Sorry. Roy, you goofball. You goofball. Oh, man, you know what smells good? You got the Roy Lichtenstein house. This is if you get rich, I'm getting the Roy Lichtenstein house. That's my dream right here. You guys ever say it's such a goofy thing? It's just like an optical illusion. You walk by, it's like 2D, but it looks 3D. It's sick as fuck, though. So it looks so 3D, and you walk by, and it's like flat. What you can do with a simple brushstroke. Exactly. Like this shit is, oh, man, look at this. Oh, God, makes me miss DC right here. Look at this. Gloomy DC day. Oh. God damn, that's good. This is the world I want to live in. Bedroom inspiration. It's beautiful. I always like the, what is it called? What is it called? It's like the president. Not the president. It's the White House. No, it's the Oval Office. Ooh, what's this sound? I always love this. This is in a fucking stairway in the fucking National Gallery or something like that. It was so, where was it at? It was like, Jesus Christ. Also, not bad. 30,000. 50,000. No, it's a screen print. I don't want the original. But, like, you know, I mean, makes you feel patriotic. That's where I want to live. Okay, cool. We're done. Shut up, Roy. Okay, so I got to back up and look into Kurt Schwitters. I'm realizing it. It's okay. We're realizing we're ignorant, okay? So Schwitters is in several genres and medias, including Dadaism, Constructivism, Surrealism, poetry, sound, painting, sculpture, graphic design, topography. But mostly he's known for the Murs pictures, right? So now, I love Murs Bow. So I should love the Murs pictures. It's rather simple. Yeah, but exactly. Now, so Latitude Badge. It is simple. Now, one thing you can say, well, look at this is a simple comic book style blown up. Why is this art? Well, what is this type of art we're discussing? Appropriation. What is appropriation? Appropriation is the recontextualization of one type of art into another type of art. What are we recontextualizing here? We're recontextualizing a low form of art, comic book art, as a high form of art, fine art, right? So there it is. Now, what can he do with this? There's a bunch of interesting stuff. When you blow up some of these images, and what he particularly chooses to blow up and curate and reappropriate are things that reflect what our personal taste are in comics, right? Often it's like, I'm looking way too deep into this. It's just women crying, a bunch of sad stuff. It's, you know, what is it called? Propaganda? You know, Captain America, Superman? I don't know. Gotta dive deeper. Other times, it's just pretty pictures. All right, back to work. Back to work. Oh, Schwitters. Gotta do a Schwitters deep dive, okay? So, born in a year, great, awesome, lovely, Der Strom. So, Dada and Murs, okay? So, Schwitters asked to join Berlin Dada either in late 1918 or 1919, according to the memoirs of Raoul Hausmann. He claimed that Hulsenbach's reject the application because of Schwitters' links to Der Sturm and to Expressionism in general. Oh, back up. See, that's how I read stories, man. Okay. So Schwitters came into contact with Herwarth Walden after exhibiting Expressionist paintings at the Hanover Secession in February. He showed two semi-abstract Expressionist landscapes at Walden's gallery, Der Sturm. This resulted in meetings with the members of the Berlin avant-garde, including Raoul, Hannah Hoch, and Jean Arp. I remember the night he introduced himself in the Café des Westerns. I'm a painter, and I nail my pictures together. Like that. So, he was still creating work in Expressionist style in 1919 and would continue to paint realist pictures up until his death. The first abstract collages influenced by recent work of Jean Arp would appear late in 1918, when Schwitters dubbed Murs after a fragment of found text, the phrase Commons und Privatbank, Commerce and Private Bank, in his work Das Mursblind, exhibited in the winter. So he had some like bank statement inside of some art, and the piece of art was called Das Mursblind, and that was, he says, yeah, Murs is the series of abstract collages. Okay, great. As Schwitters' first overtures to Zurich and Berlin Dada made explicit mention of Murs' pictures, there were no grounds for widespread claim that he invented Murs because he was rejected by Berlin Dada. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That is it. Yeah, exactly. That dude, what, controversial figure too. Controversial figure. Great photos, but getting people's faces flashing. It's kind of assault. But yeah, great photos though. There's a couple people that do that too. There's a bunch of different people that are messing with that. And I think that is an interesting thing of like, if you're photography, right, how do you capture realistic moments? Posing is insane. All right, it feels so insane when you think about it. Like freezing time is the most, like, oh my god, just, you know what I mean? Like, what is it called? Tram phone, what am I saying? It's, what is it called? How do you say it? Thinking you can freeze time is the most, you know, not condescending. It's like condescending thing you can think. I'll refine that later. Which is what photographers do. You get what I'm saying? Disgusting. Okay, so we got it. He was a part of this Der Sturm, right? And that's a gallery in Berlin. And they are showing off some avant-garde art, expressions, some cubism, Dada surrealism. But if you're associated with this, I guess you're going to have some beef. Because you asked to join the club. Houseman claimed that this guy rejected him because he was linked to Der Sturm and to Expressionism in general, which was seen by Dadaist as hopelessly romantic and obsessed with aesthetics. I love how the Dadaists just making fun of the aesthetic boys. You make retinal art embarrassing. Ridiculed by Hasselback as the Caspar David Friedrich of the Dada's revolution. God fucking damn it. I've never read a sentence that I want to understand more because you can just tell that it cut deep. But I don't know what it means at all, okay? Jesus Christ. Depict, how do you call it? It's like translate this sentence. You want to see her? I can grab her. I just took her outside a second. But she's also sleeping in a little pile of blankets, so. How's SF? But I can't get her if you need her, okay? She's just sleeping right over there, right behind the green screen. Let's see. So, yeah, so I need to understand this, okay? So we've got 3 different characters here to make this understand. So there's first this Caspar David Friedrich. This is an insult. So he is a German romantic landscape painter, considered the most important German artist of his generation. He's best known for his allegorical landscapes. Okay, so he is a, wow. Look at that stare. Wow. It's good. Looks right into your soul. Kind of scary. Let me make sure I save this. I gotta save it as a new name because Wikipedia is stupid. Got it. All right, so he is the best German painter of his generation. And he's a romantic landscape painter. That's what he's known for. He's making these. You've seen this. No. No, it's not him, right? Crucifixion. All right, he's got some chops. Lovely. But he is a purely aesthetic, romantic guy, I guess is the idea. So, okay. I can go grab her if you want. Here, I'll be right back. Ba-ba-bum. Gotta just make sure she wakes up. Ba-ba-bum. Shut up. Bam. Look at her. There he is. There she is. She doesn't know it's you, though. That's the problem. She can't see you. We walked around today. We had a good time. We actually ran to Juan Carlos had a what's it called? Had a what is it called? Oh, he had an open house that we ran into. Me and Danette ran into him. And then, boom, Shav was all of a sudden, like, you know, inside of an art gallery for, I don't know, an hour hanging out. And everyone's just loving on her. So, you know. Boom. And then I got some brunch today. And then it was just a dog. It was a dog party. But it was all these other shy dogs. There was, like, Shava dogs. There's no joke. A dog that actually looked a ton like her was a little bit wilder, you know. But yeah, she's sleeping right here on my legs now. Lucky you're in SFC. You good? Okay. And she's eating too. I got scared because I feel like she's like, what is it like? At first she wasn't eating. I was like, what are you doing, Shafa? Well, no, we had some salmon. That was great. She loved that. And I was like, cool. But then I tried to feed her other food, and she's like, you know, I was like, oh, she's not eating it. But then she ate, and I was like, okay, good. I was like, she's gonna hate me. I need her to eat. Also, I let her lick me. I think that's another big advantage. She's licking me right now, which is you don't let her. I know you don't, but I don't know if I'm giving her a bad habit. I'm just trying to bribe her any way I can. All right. She's also like she's just so ungreedy. I don't understand. Like, I feel like she should want more treats and food, and like she's just like, I don't know. She wants to sit. She just wants to sit. Okay, good. Okay, cool. We're learning though. Okay, she's been learning. Also, I love that you can hear her. I don't understand how her collar works. Like, it beeps and you can see where it tracks, right? But, like, it was beeping the other night a bunch. And she was just sitting right next to me. And we were both, like, looking at it. We're like, it's beeping. What's going on? I was like, are you tracking her? Or something like that. But I was like, I'm sitting next to her. Like, we were both looking. She's, like, looking at her own color. Like, what's going on? But it just stopped after a second. And I was at, like, feel like it was like a 10, but I don't know, whatever. Whatever. She's chilling. She's chilling. Okay, cool. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the first insult is this guy is such an aesthetic person. So the idea is that you're being like, oh my God, like they hate aesthetics. So if you're saying someone is the Caspar David Friedrich. Jerry asked the same thing about, wait, what? What does he ask? Yeah, you good. I'm also getting better, like, what's it called? Like, how do you say, like, sitting in different positions where I feel like it's comfortable for her. I feel like if she puts her head down, that's a good position because she's, like, sleeping, right? And so I'm, like, learning, like, how to, like, cross my legs and do stuff so she's, like, you know, on my lap. Or sometimes she goes to the side of me if I'm on a couch, but if I'm on a chair, it's like, I try and put her in the other chair, but she seems like she wants to be on the floor. She likes blanket on the floor. I'm just learning stuff. I don't know. I'm running experiments with her. I made her watch wrestling last night. Okay, back to business. We're learning. Okay, so he is he's the most aesthetic obsessed, right, of the Dadaist movements. You'd be like, dude, the whole point of Dadaism is like actually to get away from aesthetics, and you are the most aesthetic obsessed. You're the guy making the most beautiful landscapes. So that's embarrassing. And this guy is kind of the jerk. I don't know if he's actually a jerk, right? They fit in with left-wing politics. Idealistic is campaigns where they're challenged. Dada, la da da. Dada is still existing. Okay, cool. Back to business. This is good shit, though. It's aesthetic, bro. It's aesthetic. That's all that matters. Whoops, Wolfgang. Okay, so he was rejected. I got that. In reply with an absurdist short story, Franz Müller's Drei Frühling, Esther's Capital, Urschen und Vegan, there I am, Der großen Glorreiche Revolution in Revon, published the magazine to Stern, which featured an innocent bystander started reveling by being there. Okay, great. So, Hansen's anecdote about Schwitter's asking to join Berlin Dada is, however, somewhat dubious, as there's well-documented evidence that Schwitters and Hasselbuck were amicable at first. When they met in 1919, he was enthusiastic about his work and promised his assistance. Okay, I'm getting a little too deep into this specifics of this dude, because I'm deep in a fucking rabbit hole right now, right? I'm trying to get out. His work became increasingly modernist in spirit. But here you go. This is the shit. The Merzbow. That's my favorite fucking band. Or composer. No, he's not a composer. Performer. It's the best dude ever. There he is. He's so badass. Fuck. Dude, Kurt Schwitters. It is from Kurt Schwitters. I'm such a fucking idiot, dude. Oh my god. I've listened to Merzbow for 20 years. And I didn't know he's named after Kurt Schwitters' artwork. Oh my god, I'm stupid. I must have read that when I was younger and just like fucking slipped out the brain. That's so crazy, actually. So in Schwitters transformed the interior of his house using found object, the name was chosen to reflect Akita's Dada influence and junk art aesthetic. In addition to, he cited a wide range of gotcha, totally, exactly. Vegan straight edge, gotcha, totally, BDSM, great, God, I still want to get the Merz box. This is my dream. I looked at this thing 1,000 times on eBay, and I still haven't got it. 50 unreleased albums. 50. Fetish black rubber box. 1,000 of them. God damn it. I wonder how much it is right now. I'll check eBay really fast and then back to work. Back to work. I want the fucking Merz box. The actual Merz box. God damn it. I'm going to search Merz box. It's probably too expensive now, and I'm going to regret it. I could have bought one for $500. I want to buy it. Oh, they re-released it, or is this up? Dude, I don't want to re-release it. It's so stupid. It's $450. Oh, wow. So I can get a new Merz box. I can get a brand new Merz box. Don't do that, Extreme Records. They re-released the Merz box. Okay, I'm not going to get mad. So I think they did. All right, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not getting upset. I'm not getting upset. I'm not getting upset. I'm not going to get upset. It used to be 1,000. Should have been 1,000. The Merz box should be rare. So we were okay. Great. Merzbow. Rooms of a family house in Hanover. Very gradually, the first room was finished. Extended to other areas of the house until he fled to Norway. Most of the house was left to tenants, so he just made a house fucking dank as fuck. Grotto-like surfaces and various columns and structures. He performed an early example of sound poetry. Lovely. Okay, great. So, that's if we're talking like who are these these are these Dadaists that are helping bridge the gap to pop art, right? Because like Dadaists and then I guess some, what we'd say like abstract expressionists, Jasper Johns, Robert Rauschenberg, build this link. Well, those are like the artists that are like pushing the medium and then pop art like explodes, you know? So let's see. John's paintings of flags, targets, numbers, and maps, those are appropriation, no matter what. If Jasper Johns is reappropriating. Now, when Robert Rauschenberg is reappropriating an object, it's more akin to earlier appropriation that Pablo Picasso or George Braque would do, where they're, you know, adding newspaper clippings and other things. It's this like collage thing here. Where Jasper Johns, on the other hand, is taking imagery, things like a map, a target, and then just doing and actually making those, recontextualizing them, which, yeah. Which also is experimenting with painterly techniques at the same time. So there's two parts of it, right? You're doing paintings, but there is like a painterly part of it, like experimenting with the way you're representing paint on canvas and other stuff. So that's why they call them Neo-Dada, right? That's why they are Neo-Dada. Neo-Dada makes sense in this concept here. It just, Neo-Dada seems so short. Who else is Neo-Dada? You can have a movement of just, you know, a couple dudes. Schwitters, Marcel, and fucking Jasper. There's others. Look at this fucking fountain. You okay? Yeah. Bed. The rumor is that Robert Rauschenberg and Jasper Johns had sex on the bed. Heads up. Alright, so here's a lot of people that can be part of it. Well, you could call John Cage. Namjoon Park, really? Yoko Ono, of course. Of course. Boy's my boy. Jim Dan. He's gone. Okay, sorry. All right, back to work. So, Roy Lichtenstein is an equal of importance. His work and its use of parody defines the basic premise of pop art better than others. Selecting the old-fashioned comic strip with subject matter, he produced hard-edged, precise composition that documents while also parodying in a soft manner. He used oil and magna paint, such as Drowning Girl, which was appropriated from the lead story in DC Comics' Secret Hearts. So, boom, it's a classic. I don't care. I'd rather sink than call Brad for help. And it's just so fucking good. Sorry. It's so good. It's so good. She looks at me when I yell. Every time I was doing this earlier, like I just yell a lot when I'm alone. She's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so loud? Yes, appropriated exactly. Great. His work features thick outlines, bold colors, Ben-Day dots to represent certain colors. He says, they put things down on canvas and respond to what they had. Color, position, sizes. My style is completely different. The nature of putting down lines is pretty much the same. Mine just doesn't come out as calligraphic like Pollock's or Klein's. Pop art merges popular and mass culture with fine art while injecting humor, irony. We got it. Okay, great. So, the paintings of Lichtenstein, like those of Andy Warhol and Tom Wesselman and others, share a direct attachment to the commonplace image of American pop culture and also treat the subject in an impersonal way. He's the most famous figure in pop art is obviously Andy Warhol, called Warhol the nearest thing to a philosophical genius the history of art has ever produced. Attempted to take pop art beyond an artistic style to a lifestyle. His work often displays a lack of human affection that dispenses with the irony and parody of many of his peers. Yeah, no human affection. Oh, Irving Blum's back in the day. Damn, dude, I'd love to go there. So I don't want to do a full giant dive. That's pretty good. So then we've got to Elaine Stuyvesant, right? She created replicas of famous works by her contemporaries. She copycated Warhol, Jasper Johns, Beuys, Duchamp, Rosenquist, Lichtenstein, and more. While not exclusively reproducing pop art, that was a significant focus of her practice. She replicated Andy Warhol's Flowers in 1965 at the Bianchini Gallery in New York. She trained to reproduce the artist's own technique to the extent that Warhol was repeatedly questions on his technique. He once answered, "I don't know. Ask Elaine." Love it. Now, why? The question is, why? Now, we know that earlier, Vincent van Gogh copied a number of paintings. He copied many, many works of art. And then some of them were more literal. Some were taking a black and white painting, adding color. Some was taking a color painting and changing the colors to other colors. Some were taking a style of art that he actually can't really reproduce, specifically Japanese styles, and then creating his own kind of interpretation around it. Why was he doing this? He was saying it's akin to a musician playing a composer's piece, reinterpreting in their own way, right? Obviously, they didn't create the base concept of it, but it's still their reinterpretation. There's still artistic practice inside of that, right? Now, is Elaine doing that right now? I don't know. So, oh, she copied a little Estella. Love that. Jesus Christ, I want a copy now. So how much can I get the copy? Because I'll never be able to afford the original. But why? I want to dive deeper. I don't want the, I want the Elaine. Also, if you can't see, she's right down. You're so close. Here, I gotta go like this. Gotta go. Yeah. There you go. There you go. I'm trying to buy this. Dang it. I'm trying to buy it. I can only find the original. Dang it. Not on view. Not even on view. Bummer. See, now I'm scared. She's like sitting up, like where she was sleeping before. I feel like that's more comfortable. I feel like you want to go back to your bed. Do you want to or not? Okay, she just laid down instantly when I said that. That's funny. Okay, she wants to stay on the lap. Okay, so I don't know why. So I need to understand. That's what I'm a little confused about, okay? So it's the why, right? Because if you just copy, why? So Rauschenberg commissioned Elaine to paint a reproduction, which is subsequently incorporated into a combine. I love that. She concentrated on replicating works by Beuys and Duchamp. In a 1967 photograph, she and Rosenberg pose as a nude Adam and Eve, roles originally played by Duchamp and Brogna Perlmutter in a picture shot by Man Ray. Isn't that like the fucking most expensive photo ever sold ever? Is that not what? Wait, what's the one? Oh God, what's the top man? Also, the music changed dramatically on that next song. What is the top Man Ray photo of all? Yeah, it's that one. Isn't that the top one? The self-portrait. This one. Got to memorize this list. Yeah, number one is this Man Ray. Damn, bro. Painted on her body. Nice job. What the fuck? That's number one. 12 million. And then he's got Noir et Blanche, which is this one. Damn. No more. Cindy Sherman, though, filling up this fucking list. Richard Prince, filling up this fucking list. Look at that. Prince, Sherman, Prince, Sherman, Prince, Sherman. And Andreas Gursky, too, as well. Yes. But Gursky is not about to be read about us in a second, so it doesn't relate to my argument. Okay, I still don't understand why, right? She stopped exhibiting art for 10 years. Pushback on her conceptual practice had begun. In fact, with Claes Odenberg and his dealer, Castelli, being publicly upset at her restaging the store. Wow. So it says, objects, deafening silence from the art world and preset. Okay, so she did a studies done by Beuys, action objects, Duchamps, etc., including film. And everyone in 73. This is interesting. I don't. Well, they're not explaining why, but also I got to keep digging for information. You know what I mean? Like she might have it somewhere else here. It's like so it's like, why is she doing repos so close? Now, Deborah Cass was doing similar reappropriations, but she was reframing it in the context of the growing feminist movement and the lack of women in the art space. Now, Elaine's a woman, but she's not explicitly saying that right now. So, okay, keep going. So then, oh my God, if you don't know, Anselm Kiefer, that's my boy. Oh, terrible looking at it online right here. Terrible, but oh, Kiefer's in person. 30 years, 200 acres to create. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. You okay? Really love Anselm Kiefer. Just lucky DC, you could see him at the National Gallery. Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay, cool. So, back to work. So, there's this 12 here, right? Which is this recreating Strutevant. Let's learn how to pronounce this correctly.
Sturtevant.
Sturtevant. So is this about this? I think this is. So, in 1967, rundown neighborhood with garbage pockmarked by empty abandoned storefronts. I do really want to read all this. I just don't think I might have to just come back on second stream and do this. This feels like a worthwhile. I gotta do it. It's okay. Shava. I'm gonna grab another drink with you real fast. We're gonna read this, okay? Do you actually want to go to your bed? Okay. Let's go to the Marble Palace. Because I do think this actually will be helpful. Because this is an example of appropriation by someone where it's right next to the artist so quickly that it's causing like, attention, and I don't exactly know why. And also, the article is not really telling me why. So, okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's just go from the beginning. Okay. In 1967, New York's East Village was a rundown neighborhood strewn with garbage and pockmarked by empty and abandoned storefronts. In late April, an artist who was preparing an art exhibition for one such space was set upon by a group of school children who beat her so badly she ended up in the hospital. The attack occurred after the children peered through the dingy window of the storefront where the artist was readying the show. A photograph from that time offers a glimpse of the developing display. Through the window, one can make out a scattering of roughly molded sculptures of everyday objects. Among them, approximations of a lumpy pie, a men's shirt folded over cardboard, and a cake in a glass case, all pilled haphazardly on the window ledge, suspended horizontally over them in an oversized ice cream cone. Were the children flummoxed by the appearance of the various consumer goods that couldn't really be used or consumed? Even a savvy art observer would have had a valid grounds for confusion about the nature of the show. In appearance, the installation suggested a revival of Claes Oldenburg's already celebrated arted studio cum shop, The Store, which had made its debut 6 years earlier, a few blocks away. But in fact, this was not the store by Claes Oldenburg. As a poster announcing Oldenburg's project had called it, rather, it was a new poster proclaiming the store of Claes Oldenburg. Not the store by Claes Oldenburg, the store of. The change of preposition is crucial because this exhibit was actually created by a young female artist who went by the single name Sturtevant. She had already begun to establish herself in the avant-garde circles, exceedingly small by today's standards. For exhibitions that involve the presentations of paintings and sculptures that appear to be works by better-known artists, she is simply taking an art and saying, "This is mine." It's interesting. Many of these artists trooped to the opening, which occurred despite the beating. She really got beat. Wow. One of the attendees was Oldenburg himself, who heareth though. I never can pronounce this word. We're learning, guys.
Hitherto.
Hitherto? What are you talking about?
We are looking at how to pronounce this word, as well as how to say more interesting words in English. This means until now, or until the point in time that is under discussion. How do you go about pronouncing it? Hitherto.
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 Okay. So, up until now, hitherto have been supportive of Sturtevant to the extent of, let's just do one more time. I'm sorry, guys. We got to keep doing this. I don't really care. I'm learning. Damn, where'd that article go? Oh, see, it's here. Okay, great. So I'm going to go this one more time. Sometimes it's good to keep it up just so I can keep doing it again and again, honestly.
Sturtevant.
Sturtevant. So, after the show, he broke the friendship and never spoke to her again. And there's actually a citation, which is very fucking nice. Can't wait to find that out. So then, Sturtevant sadly died at the age of 89. Remains one of the most enigmatic figures of post-war art. She was long known, when she was known at all, for remaking works in the manner of her contemporaries. In the 60s, these included mostly artists from Leo Castelli's stable and iconic figures like Duchamp and Beuys. Critical incomprehension of her work drove her to give up art in the 1970s, preferring instead, as she later recounted, it was probably a deliberate echo of Duchamp's own supposed withdrawal from the fray to play tennis. Her career revived in the 80s, spurred by an interest in appropriation by artists like Cherie Levine, Mike Bildlow, and Richard Prince. So that's interesting. Also, when they say appropriation, they've got a link to theirs. So they've got, it'd be interesting to see like what they're linking is part of it. I've got Sturtevant in here right now. Great. And also, I don't know Mike Bidlow, so it's also good to know. So I'm just going to add this here. I'm going to make sure we have this article in here too. Good stuff, though. Finding some good information. Heralded as the precursor of these young modernists, Sturtevant began to turn her attention to the recreation of works by younger contemporaries. So all of a sudden, Cherie Levine, which is part of the photography girls, we're going to read about more. Mike, which includes Cindy Sherman, who's got, fucking 5 of the top selling photographs of all time. Not that matters. She's done a Supreme fucking collaboration. There's no Cherie Levine Supreme collab. And also, Supreme is based off of Barbara Kruger. The logo is based off Barbara Kruger, Futura and whatever, black on white. And Barbara Kruger is part of the photography girls that Cherie Levine is also part of. So, heralded as the precursor of these young modernists, Sturtevant began to turn her attention to the recreation of the works by young contemporaries like Felix Gonzalez Torres, Robert Gober, and Keith Haring. She moved to Paris. Her career revival continued, including solo exhibitions. Great, cool. Now, in the midst of the new attention, made what appeared to be an about-face, turning from the recreation of works by others, she began to focus on pulsing multi-channel videos that employ found and recycled digital imagery. These works helped spur a late-life artistic rebirth, marked by high-profile exhibitions at Stockholm, London, a bunch of places. She received a Golden Lion for a lifetime achievement. 6 months after her death, they did a Sturtevant Double Trouble full-scale retrospective. Damn, 6 months after death, the MoMA retrospective. That fucking hurts. So so here you go. So she was born in Lakewood, Ohio, studied psychology, But she emerged when the heroic singularity of abstract expressionism vision was replaced by the fascination with mechanical reproduction, mass media, and a highly commercialized pop culture. Signs of the new media were everywhere, evident in Warhol's repeated silkscreen mass media icons, Lichtenstein's repurposing of comic book camels, the repetitive imagery of Jasper Johns, and the transfer drawings of Robert Rauschenberg. It was even evident in the antics of the master debunker of authenticity, Marcel Duchamp, who in '64 was making his ready-mades. In such a climate, Sturtevant's decision to replicate the works of fellow artists seems less incongruous. I'm dumb.
Incongruous.
Incongruous. That sounds wrong. I hate that.
And then considers incongruous.
Fine. Incongruous. Okay, so. Oh, so Hank Aaron also replicated Frank Stella paintings, which Deborah Cass also was doing appropriations of Stella paintings. Why is Stella always being replicated? Already on this. I'm using that random search just to like literally grab all this other random ass stuff. So he found a bunch of random stuff. So this is a Fake Is More based off Cheryl Bernstein, where she was talking about exactly. See, I'm on the same stuff. Reference and simulation, recent painting and sculpture. This is from 1986, the Institute of Contemporary Art. Return of Hank Aaron. This looks awesome. Let me add this to the later. Love it. Found something good. Okay. The Return of Hank Aaron. Heron. I want to keep saying Hank Aaron. I don't know. I'm going to take this, but I don't really know. Also, terrible link. Also, I'm like previewing it. That sucks. This is Fordham Intellectual Property. I'm now on legal documents, which is great. It's what you want. I want to be on legal documents. So let me read what this is actually, though. Appropriation, art, legal troubles. Okay, great. Oh, God. Okay, cool. I'm not going to read this right now, but this is definitely what I need. Is this doing it from purely a legal standpoint? All right, get rid of this because the link sucks. Great shit. Steal that PDF. Sturtevant. Now, back to business, which was really reading this Sturtevant article. So, Mr. Heron's work, by reproducing the exact appearance of Frank Stella's entire oeuvre, nevertheless introduces new content and new concept. That is precluded in the work of Mr. Stella, the denial of originality. The essay was later to be revealed a hoax perpetrated by art historian Carol Duncan and her husband Andrew Duncan, who intended it as a satirical setup of some more esoteric theoretical positions at the time. Holy fuck, this is the best shit I've ever heard. And that's why when later people are referencing it, it's so interesting. Okay, Jesus. Okay, great. Whew, boy. Let's back up. This is actually really good. Oh, it's 2? That's not that bad. The big, concept hoax. Also, it's 2. What's it called? No one. What's it called? Let's go to sleep. I'm still reading right now. Bing bong. So first of all, is Cheryl Bernstein appearing on YouTube? Who is talking about Cheryl Bernstein? Scale up growth. Cheryl Bernstein is some like self-help person. What I'm saying is already right now, it looks like no one is, well, I don't know if it'd be in the search, I guess, because it might be so boring. But I don't know if anyone's told this story before in a video format. You know what I mean? It might be actually interesting in a video format because it's like, this story is fucking crazy. It's literally fucking crazy. Okay. So this is, I hate when they don't have links actually on their citations. So I gotta get this, the fake Asmore. So this is the fake. I can read the fake. Ideally, the whole thing. Let me find it. And I can also get these books. It looks like maybe. Also, it's already on that Fordham book. They're discussing this in here. So here we go. I got Idea Art. I'm going to steal this right now. And in here, the fake is more Cheryl Bernstein, right? So just got to find where that is, which is individual copyright. Wait. Let's see. Oh, I got this. There you go. That's not helping me much more. The problems of criticism. This shit looks fire, bro. Even if there's fake shit in here. Art After Philosophy. Love it. The Art Workers Coalition. The Eruption of Anti-Art. All these are so fun. We'll have to pick one. 400 views. Art and Words. The Decline and Fall of Avant-Art. Damn it, dude. How did I miss it? I thought I scrolled the whole thing. Yeah, this is George. This is George. This is Ecology. Here it is. In this essay, she discusses artworks by the New England artist Hank Herron. In her opinions, his work represents a synthesis of the form and the object into what might be called form-object art. This is good. She cites the Frank Stella paintings painted by Herron and explains that by his refusal to succumb to unilateral linear statements or expressions of complete circularity, he created a synthesis of both in what might be called circular art. Either, or, but both, and. Holy fuck, that's good. The recreative process delineates a new phenomenon in art, the denial of originality. This she feels is a radical new and philosophical element in the work. She concludes that the art of which she speaks is neither deepening nor broadening, nor if anything joyous. We got Heidegger. The most primordial phenomenon of truth is first shown by the existential ontological foundation of uncovering. I've been saying that for years. All right, I'm going to stop now. That was good. 2 a.m. Beautiful. Made some